One of the big rules of Chimps mode is no selling, which is quite a bit of a struggle, but there's a way to get around that, and that is discounts. Instead of making money, you could save money with discount villages, and these are something that you'll see a lot, particularly ISAB loves using it, but in reality, really just everybody who plays Chimps mode loves using it, because they can do a lot, and they can save a pretty good amount of money. So today I'm just going to be doing a little bit of a different thing here, and showing you kind of how they work, and what are the cases for all of the discounts, because you will notice that a lot of people will tend to get like different variations. They might get like 1 discount, 2 discounts, 3 discounts, discounts with this, discounts with that. So I'm just going to quickly go over it, and along with like saying what is better, I'm just going to be giving kind of some reasoning so you can see like what's the thought process behind when you get discounts and why you might get discounts. So first of all, discounts only go up to tier 3, so you can't save money on tier 4s, which is kind of bad for a lot of towers because most of their money is in tier 4s and above, but something like super monkeys, they're going to be getting more. However, that Bloon Jitsu, you can't really discount much off of that Bloon Jitsu, but that Robo, you can get everything. The tier 1 gives discounts of 10% and it stacks 1 time. The tier 2 gives discounts of 5% and it stacks 3 times. So 1 discount village will discount 15%, while 2 will discount 20%, and 3 will discount 25%. So that's something that you should keep in mind that you may not have known. And a big thing that I'm talking about is that you only factor the cost of the discount upgrades, not the village itself, the base village, only if you're using the village for another purpose, like to get jungle drums, because the alternative would just be getting a jungle drum village, which would be the same cost minus the cost of the discounts. And sometimes it may not be worth getting discounts, even if discounts save money. There's some cases where you just wouldn't want to get discounts in the first place. So this is a bit of a confusing tower, and there's a lot to it, so we're going to talk more about that later, and I'll bring in kind of some examples for all of them. And lastly, another big thing to note is that discount villages, if you have multiple of them, will discount other discount villages from the other discount village. It can't discount itself though. So if you have a double or triple discount, you can get some really good deals by including the price of the other village in the cost factor need to break even, which is really nice. This is why you will see later when I pull up some quick math that the double discount is extremely effective, and it's actually insanely effective if you get MIB. So something like this, where you might have a setup where you have the MIB and the primary training, you can get both of the bonus effects while saving a ton of money with the double discounts. This is just an extremely effective setup. So in a bit here, we're going to be pulling up some stats and seeing what we have. So to describe visually kind of what you need to use the discounts with, I decided to make a little chart. And just as a quick note, I am not good at math, so if there's any kind of errors in this, just point it out. But even if there are errors, I still say greatly that this kind of gives a good overall understanding of what's good with the discounts and like kind of when you would use them. So if you notice, I kind of have a few of the most common scenarios that you might see in Chimps mode. So if you're just getting like a single discount, if you're going for a discount with drums or a discount with camo, and then double discount, triple discount, and then triple discount without one of the village options in between. But you notice that these guys in the middle are the best. So let's kind of take a look at all of these uses, and these are generally just what you're going to be wanting to use in Chimps mode, because you can see that the total amount spent on the bottom to profit is way lower than everything else. And I kind of find that very true in my regular games. That's kind of like what I will go for when I get discounts, just because they're so good. You can get good value and get some good money. So getting 1 single discount with drums or with camo is something that you'll see a lot, although you don't really see it just with camo. Usually when you're trying to get camo, you also want drums, because pretty much you always get drums in a game of Chimps. So you pretty much see that with a double discount. So let's just take a look more at drums, as opposed to getting like just a 200 village or a 220 village. So we're just going to be getting drums and adding the discount in there at the bottom. Now we only need to cover the cost of the discount itself, so that $1,080 in order to profit, because the alternative to not having discount would be just to get a 200 village, which would have the base village in there anyways. So this is going to work out really great if you have something to remove camo, like that necromancer or hero that I showed earlier, or if you're going just for like a some upgrades to get into like an expensive tier 4. You don't really need a whole lot because it's only one single discount, but it's a good addition and you can end up saving a good amount of money. There's only a few times where if you just have some really simple towers, you're getting them after you have your village up, or something like that where you just wouldn't want to get a discount at all. That's kind of rare in a more complicated game of Chimps, especially as you get harder. Another thing to note is that if you're on a map like Sunken Columns there, where there's a limited amount of space, you might just want to get one single discount because there's no space for others. Now let's take a look at our next, which is the double discount. And as you can see, this according to the math is most effective. There's one thing to note: this doesn't take into account that you're getting a second based village just to have double discount, although this is kind of in a way a little complicated because you won't get the double discount without it. So just keep that in mind. That's another factor that I didn't put in on that math, but it's still pretty darn effective. You see this a lot when you want your camo and your drums, or you can take it a step further with MIB and like primary training if you need that. That gets really effective. You're going to be discounting an MIB, which is huge. You can discount all of your other stuff. It's going to be great if you're going in late game and getting a lot of support. You can discount all of that. So yeah, generally stuff like that. If there's some more stuff you want to discount, not like a crazy amount though, it's going to be really good. If you're going to need to get the drums and the camo, it's going to be really good. You alternatively could just get like one discount and one 102. This is going to be a little bit more to pull off, like you need a little more in tier 3s, but it's still pretty effective generally. And if you have some more stuff, you can do that. If you're doing that, you just need to keep in mind that you're going to put into account a whole nother village, because as the alternative it would just not be getting that village in the first place. Now let's take a look at a triple discount where we'd have like a 202, an 022, or MIB if you want to go there, and you could put that in the amount of spent on tier 3s to cover, and then just another discount. This is also pretty good, and you use this if you just have a lot of money in tier 3s, namely super monkeys, because super monkeys are extremely expensive for tier 3s, and one whole sun avatar will easily cover the cost that you need to pay in order for this to kind of work out. The one thing to note for this is that, kind of like the example on Sunken Columns where there's not enough space for a double discount, on a lot of maps you're not going to get a lot of space for a triple discount. So that's going to be a big issue. Your setup can kind of be like positioned all over, and especially if you need more towers that kind of need to be close and bunched up together, 3 discounts can really disrupt the pattern of your setup and kind of can make things go like all over a little wonky. That's why that Geraldo Robo strategy is so powerful, because you can pack everything under a triple discount. But as you can see, this Sun Avatar 21k, the upgrade itself is now only 16,000, so that just saves a ton of money. If you're going for like Sun Avatars or just like a lot of tier 3s, spamming tier 3s, then a triple discount setup really can save a ton of money, and it would be extremely effective. Now this is a big point here that I didn't mention before, and that is save ups. So discounts cost a lot of money, and oftentimes you're going to be getting a lot of money in tier 3s later in the game when you get your support. So let's say in this example I have a Dark Champion. Dark Champion's pretty good. You could easily get like a double discount for that, but when we factor into all of these towers in the late game, that Moab Glue, Unstable Concoction, Spike, Storm, Overclock, that's a lot more money putting into tier 3s. We now could effectively get a triple discount and still save some money with that. But one big thing to note is that that isn't going to be worth it until like all the way in the long term in late game. And when you have an expensive save up in the mid game, you're going to need to get that 60k. A lot of times it's just worth it not to do that at all. Ensure that you get your expensive save up in the mid game, and then by that time when you're into the late game and you're starting to build your towers, it's just not worth it to keep the discount. So sometimes you technically will be saving money, but just for the sake of being able to actually survive the mid game, you shouldn't get all those extra discounts. So there's a lot to take in mind, and it can take a lot of personal experience. If it's kind of overwhelming, you don't have to use it, because most of the time you're going to be saving like maybe $2,000, which definitely can help for expert Chimps games. But if you really know how to do it well, you can actually save save quite a lot of money. So discounts are pretty cool. They are a little complicated in the way, and just kind of as a big wrap up, the big point that I tried to make in this video is that if you're using discounts with the village upgrades, with drums, with camo, it really is worth a lot, because getting one just 002 village, you're going to need to save up the amount of money that you spent on that entire village. But if you're doing it with drums, you just need to save up the money that you spent on the discounts, which is like half as much.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!